Welcome students, welcome to TKG physics classes. So we have already completed chapter 2, that is unit and measurement. So what we learned from chapter 2? That is, in chapter 2 at first we find out the dimension for various physical quantities. Then we use the dimension analysis for solving various types of problems. That is, for solving one system to another system, we use dimension analysis. For checking the dimensional consistency, we use dimension analysis. And for solving the relationship among various physical quantities, we use dimension analysis. Then we find out error, types of error, that is the absolute error, relative error, percentage error, and then there is a combination of errors. There is error in product form, error in division, etc. So this is all about this chapter. If you don't watch this video, these previous videos yet, so do watch them. The link are given in the description part. Okay. So in this class we are talking about another chapter, that is chapter number 3 for class 11, which is named as motion in a straight line. So before starting it, you have to know this part is related to the branch of physics which is named as mechanics, is the oldest branch of physics. What is mechanics? Mechanics is a branch of physics which is related to the motion or rest of an object, of an body. And there is a sub part of mechanics, that is statics, that is kinematics, and there is dynamics. This part is related to kinematics. So what is kinematics? Kina is a Greek word which indicates motion, and matics, that is mathematics. So every mathematical terms related to motion of an object, of an body is all about this chapter. Suppose a body is moving along a straight path, a car is moving along a straight path. So what is the speed of this car? What is the velocity? What is the acceleration? So all about this part is all about this chapter. Okay. So let's start. At first you have to know what is position. What is the position of an object? Position, that means a point where the object is placed, where the object is situated. Now what is rest and what is motion? Rest means a body is said to be rest if it does not change its position with respect to surrounding with the passage of time. Suppose there is a table and a book is placed here. Clear? Now if this is the position of this book. Now if after some time the position of this book is at that place, so we can say that this body is under rest condition. So a book which is lying on a table, you can say that is rest condition. Okay. So what is rest? That is, a body is said to be rest if the body doesn't change its position with respect to surrounding with the passage of time. Similarly, what is motion? A body is said to be in motion when it changes its position with respect to surrounding with the passage of time. Suppose a train is moving on a railway track. At a particular time, a train is situated at a point. After some time interval, the position of train changes. So this example is related to motion. Now rest and motion, all about related terms. It depends upon the observer, viewer. For example, a passenger sitting on a train, moving train, is at rest condition with respect to surrounding passenger, but he is in motion condition for a person who is in outside of the train. So a person is at a rest with respect to one frame. At the same time, this person is in motion with respect to another frame. It depends upon the frame of reference. So we can say that the rest and motion all about relative terms. Clear? Now you have to know what is motion in 1D, what is motion in 2D, and what is motion in 3D. So first case, that is motion in 1D, that is called one dimensional motion. Motion in 1D. Suppose a body is moving along a straight path. This is origin O, and at time t1 the position of the body, this is time t1, the position of body at point p1. So for specifying this position, what we have to specify? You have to say the distance from origin O. Suppose this one x1. Now after some time the body position, that is suppose p2, and at time t2. Now what is the position at point p2? That is, you have to say this position, that is x2. Clear? So when a body is moving in a straight path, and for specifying the position of that body, we need only one coordinates among three coordinates, then this type of motion is called motion in 1D. Clear? Now second case, that is motion in 2D, that is two dimensional motion. So what is two dimensional motion? Same definition, that is a body is said to be in two dimensional motion when only two coordinates required for specifying the position of that body. Suppose this is x axis, this is y axis, this origin. Suppose a body at a particular time position at point p1. So for specifying this position of that body, we have to say two coordinates. First, that is this portion, suppose x1, and along y axis you have to say this length, that is suppose y1. So at point p1 the position of the body, that is at point p1 x1 and y1. Now the body is moving. So after some time, that is at time t2, suppose the position of the body at point p2. So what is the position of that body at particular this point? Now you have to say this length, that is x2, and this length, that is this length, suppose y2. So for specifying the position, we have to say x2 comma y2. So these types of motion is called motion in 2D. Now third case, that is motion in 3D. Same definition, motion in 3D, that means a body is said to be in 3D motion when all three coordinates are required. All three coordinates are required for specifying the position of that body. Suppose this is x axis, y axis, and this is z axis. At a point p1, the position of the body, we have to say x1, this portion, that is y1, and upper portion, that is this point z1. So x1, y1, z1, three coordinates are required for specifying the position of that body at point p1. Now similarly, when the body is positioned at point p2, we have to say same, that is x2, y2, z2. So here for specifying the position of the body, all three coordinates are required. So this type of motion is called motion in 3D. Clear? Now next we have to learn what is distance and displacement. So this lecture is all the intro, basic part. All of you know about these things. So what is distance, which is in class 9 or maybe 8? All of you know that is distance means the actual path traveled by a body. Suppose a body is moving from point A to C via point B. This is point B. A to C via point B. So in this example, what is distance? The distance is equal to first part, that is AB, plus after that BC. So here distance AB plus BC. Clear? Now you check one thing here. AB has some magnitude value, BC has some magnitude value, but distance has no specific direction. So a physical quantity which has only magnitude value, there is no direction, we can say this quantity is a scalar quantity. So distance is a scalar quantity. Now what is the unit of distance? That is SI unit, meter, CGS unit, centimeter, dimension, that is M0 L T0, dimensional formula. So this is about distance. Now what is displacement? Displacement means the shortest path of a body, and the formula for calculating displacement, that is final position minus initial position. Final position minus initial position of a body is called the displacement. Take this example. A body is moving from A to C via B. So here distance, that means AB plus BC. But what is the displacement for this case? That is the shortest path. So A to C, that is shortest path, which indicates this portion, this line. Starting point A, so this is the initial point, ending C, that is the final point. So displacement, which indicates final minus initial, that is here displacement is equal to AC. Clear? Now displacement has magnitude value as well as direction. So we can say displacement is a vector quantity and the unit and dimension are same. That means displacement unit meter, SI, CGS centimeter, and dimension M0 L T to the power 0. Now there is an important point, that is what is the relation between distance and displacement. What is the relation? There is 4 options. Suppose distance equal to displacement, distance greater than displacement, distance greater or equal to displacement, distance less than displacement. What will be the final answer? Think about it. First condition, suppose distance equal to displacement. Suppose a body is moving from A to B. So here distance which indicates AB, and displacement, that is the final position minus initial position. So displacement also you can say displacement, that is also AB. So in this example we can say distance is equal to displacement. Now this one, distance greater than displacement. This portion A, B, C. When a body is moving from A to B, after that B to C, here distance, that is AB plus BC, and in this case the displacement, that is shortest part, that is AC. So this is the displacement, distance, and this is displacement. So check, this portion is greater with respect to AC. So this one is also right, that is distance will be more than displacement. Clear? So first case, that is distance equal to displacement. Second case, that is distance greater than displacement. Both cases are right. So the final answer will be distance greater or equal to displacement. For some example, distance equal to displacement. For some example, distance greater than displacement, but distance never less than displacement. So we can say distance always positive or 0. There is no negative. But displacement may be positive, may be 0, may be negative. Clear? Now let's take two examples, then it will be more easier to all of you. Problem 1. Suppose a person is moving along a circular path from point A to point B, and another person is moving from point A to B like this path. This path 1 and path 2. Now we have to find out the ratio of first case, that is distance for both case and displacement ratio, displacement for both case. First one, for path 1, body moving A to B, that means half of the circle, and you know the total circular formula, that is 2 pi r. So this is the half of this circle, so this path value will be 2 pi r divided by 2, that is pi r. Now for path 2 distance, that is a body moving from A to B. Suppose they are given radius r, take smaller radius. So when a body moving from A to B, like from along path 2, so the distance which indicates r plus r, that is 2r. So what is the ratio? The distance, suppose distance represent by for path 1, that is d1, for path 2, that is d2. d1 by d2, that is for first case, that is pi r, divided by for second case, that is 2r. So r cancel out, that is pi by 2. Okay. Now case number 2, that is you have to find out the ratio of displacement here. Okay. For first case, the displacement for path 1, displacement that is when body moving A to B, and displacement means the shortest path. So when body moving A to B, the shortest path which indicates this straight line AB. This is the initial point, this is the final point, and the displacement means final point minus initial point, that is AB, and AB value, that is 2r. And for path 2, body moving like the straight path, so here displacement also equal to distance. So displacement in this case, displacement that is also AB, that is 2r. So what is the ratio for path 1? Displacement for path 1 divided by displacement for path 2, that is 2r by 2r, that is 1:1. Clear? Now another example. Suppose a body is moving along a circular path starting from point, problem 2. A body is moving along a circular path starting from point A. That is, body moving from point A to point B, then B to C, then C to D, and finally D to A. Now we have to find out first case, that is distance and displacement when body moving from A to B, distance and displacement both. Second, we have to find out distance and displacement when body moving A to C. Third case, that is body moving A to D, and finally one complete rotation. We have to find out distance and displacement for these cases. Given radius given r. So first case, when body moving from A to B, what will be the distance? Body moving from A to B, this portion, total circular path perimeter, that is 2 pi r, and this A to B, that is 1/4, that is distance is equal to 1/4 into 2 pi r, the perimeter of this circle. So this one will be pi r by 2. Clear? Now what will be the displacement here? Body moving from A to B, and you know the displacement, that is the shortest path, that is this straight line, this line r, this is the r. So what will be the distance AB? That is displacement is equal to root under r square plus r square. So this one will be root 2r. So for first case, distance pi r by 2, displacement is root 2r. Now case number 2, that is body moving A to C. When body moving A to C, what is the distance? A to C, that is half into 2 pi r. So this part will be pi r. Clear? Now displacement A to C, shortest path, that means this is the final point, this is the initial point, that is shortest path which indicates AC, and AC means diameter of this circle, that is 2r. R is the radius. So this is second case. Now third case, that is A to D, distance A to D, that is 1/3 into 2 pi r, that is 2/3 into pi r, and displacement that is also indicate the shortest path A to D. So A initial point, D final point, that is AD, which indicates AD. So same condition, this is r, this is also r. So displacement will be root under r square plus r square, that is root 2r. Okay. Now case number 4. Case number 4, distance, there is one complete duration from A to A. So the distance indicates total circle perimeter, that is 2 pi r, and displacement A to A, that is initial point A and final point, that is also same A. So the difference between initial and final point, that is 0. Okay. So this is the way for solving distance and displacement. Clear? So this about this part, this theory is all about the basic thing. So stay tuned. If you like this video, please share my channel and stay tuned with this channel. Okay, thank you.